sure you have sound. Yep. Okay. So this formula is how you calculate the slope at any point on this curve. We need to talk more about that idea. Again, the whole point of this is for you to learn. The grading secondary. Pretty good? Okay. This curve will have a vertical tangent whenever this formula ends up being a number divided by 0.
So undefined?
A specific type of undefined. So I need to figure out when this is 0. So by simply writing this green statement, I earn a point. Any questions to the green?
Oh, shoot.
That was 1 point for simply doing that.
Wait,
Go ahead, Ryan.
why the first equation equals 0, not the second?
First equation.
Sorry, the first pink box on. Why does that one have to equal 0 and not the second? I
The first pink box.
guess on the very top.
I guess I would have called this the first pink box. I didn't make that equal to 0. I made this equal to
This
0.
is a 3 white, 2 for green.
I made the green equal to 0.
Oh gosh, you're right.
I'm still not sure I'm answering your question.
No, you are. I was being an idiot.
No worries. Questions?
So you said it equals
That's
0
chill.
to find like just like your x equation, and then you find what at what point y equals 2, because that's what gives you right there.
Well, let's slow down a minute. So are you okay to hear? Like,
Yeah, I'm good for
So you're good to
this.
this.
Because you're trying to find your x equation.
You're not really trying to find an x equation. What you're trying to do is figure out, is there an x and a y that will make this 0?
So you're trying to find both the x and the y?
Yep, because it says find the coordinates of all points.
Okay.
A point is not an x or a y. A point is an xy pair.
Oh, and so the vertical is when it's like undefined, basically divided by undefined or non-existent or
We
whatever.
need a little more words to that, but the tangent line to the curve
Yeah.
being vertical means when you went and calculated the slope of the curve,
It's a slope of.
you ended up, so here's your formula for finding slope.
Yeah.
When you tried to find the slope at some point, you ended up with some number on the top of this formula,
Yeah.
and you ended up with 0 on the bottom.
And that's for.
And that means there's a vertical tangent.
Just like $4.
See again?
Did you learn the trick $20? Oh.
I know the thing about boys or something, but
No, $20. So you think horizontal is 0 for the y's, and then bucks vertical is undefined for the x's.
oh, interesting.
$20.
Okay.
Learn that. It's great.
All right.
I'm a little confused with the red part, just like why.
Fair enough. I kind of hadn't got there yet, but so is everybody okay with the green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody comfortable like understanding it so that if you encounter it in the future, you can get at least the green point.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we now have the following. We have 2 equations right here. Just say it out loud. How many equations or how many things are unknown in this equation?
2.
2. I have another equation with 2 unknowns also.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I have 2 equations, 2 unknowns, I learned in algebra that there's a chance I can find the value of the unknowns. So I'm going to use those 2 equations. I'm going to substitute. Raise your hand if you can see what I did from, let's label these. So this was step 1. Here's step 2. Step 3 is just remembering that I have another equation with both x and y unknown. Step 4 is the key. Who knows what happened from 3 to 4? Hands up. Pass out the pebbles. Who knows what happened from 3 to 4? For a few more hands. There we go. What happened from 3 to 4? What happened, Corey?
They plugged in the equation for what x equals.
Yep, straight substitution. I just said, hey, x is 3y squared. So we'll just plug in that x. How many saw that? So mark down 3 or grab 3 since I just flew around the room here. These are prized, man. I don't have very many of those. Those are sweet.
Oh,
You guys wanna pass those
Trey.
Those are nice.
These are sick.
Oh, awesome. The color of my hair.
Be a little more grateful, Ryan.
Questions from anyone? Guys?
Yeah.
Don't put it back to the guy.
So now you just do algebra to figure out.
Now I just do algebra to find y. Once I have y, I can find x.
So it doesn't matter that one's the derivative of the other, you can still just plug in the x.
Say it again.
So like, the derivative of the first one is that second one, like it doesn't matter, you can still plug in the x without getting in trouble for that.
It's all about what the symbols are representing. So in this equation, what are the symbols representing? Nathan?
A point, you're trying to find 1 point.
The x and y here represent actually a million different points
Okay.
on some curve. We don't know what the curve looks like, so just draw whatever. But they represent x, y pairs.
Right.
There's an x and y in that other equation over here. Nathan, what are the x and y representing here?
Like a bunch of x, y pairs as well.
Are they the same x, y pairs or different x, y pairs?
Different x, y.
They are the exact same x, y pairs. There's no difference. This is the formula for finding the x, y pairs, but you could use this formula to find them also, if you knew the slope at the point.
Welcome.
So this equation simply shows me x, y pairs here. But then when I go to this equation, I have to keep drawing so the video knows what I'm talking about. It's showing me not only the x, y pair, but also the slope at that x, y pair. They're very connected. Did that answer your question?
I think so.
That's why I can take an xy from this and use it with an xy from this, because they're the same xy.
Because it's the same equation.
Same xy. They have to be true in both equations. Yeah. Please.
So what if they don't, do they have to actually write out the equation and set it equal to 0? Or if they wrote out that dy, they just said dy dx is undefined at y equals 0. They didn't actually write the actual.
Oh, I got you. Let me say a little bit more before I stop the video, Jacob. Here's how I would grade if I had a stack of tests in front of me. I tend to go to the end first. So I look and see, did they have the correct answer? Do they have this? That's 1 point. If they don't have that, it's highly unlikely they're going to have the red box. So I go look for it, but I probably won't see it. So I know they're going to get 2 points. They pretty much have to say equals 0. They can't just say undefined. Like, they have to have the green box to get that other point.
What if they have like a list of 6 coordinate points, but 3, -1 is one of the 6?
But you give them a point if they put dy over dx equals question mark over 0. It's like similar to
Oh, that's interesting.
1.
They
That would
didn't
probably
show
give them
any
1
more.
point.
They didn't show any more thinking about it.
That's called they were taking the test and they went like this real quick and wrote it down. And
So no
there's no way you can guess that.
What kind of just cheated?
And I guess you could guess and guess forever.
They do have like a race one though.
Yeah, we'll go 0. Other questions on grading?